Hi everyone, welcome back with Media Indra, and now I will share you about my experience during 7 week following international business class at IPMI International Business School. I'll show you through the mind map that I've made. International business is about business transaction between parties from more than one country. Basically, when we talk about business international, we talk about globalization, free trade, how a country manages its risk and manage its competitive advantage, and how global firms define strategy to enter global market. Technological development in the field of digitization or e-commerce, capital mobility and liberalization have driven globalization, which has brought change to the old economy into a new economy. The new economy has three main pillars. There are better customer service, cost reduction, and transparency and competition. Globalization is about trend toward greater economic, cultural, political, and technological interdependence among national institutions and economies. And this greater economy in the world can happen if a country optimizes and focuses on its comparative advantage. The globalization leads into free trade. There are some barriers to international communication that need to be addressed, such as cultural barriers, source and country of origin effect and noise. On the other hand, a country faces some risks in international business, such as a cross-cultural risk, currency or financial risk, and commercial risk. The dimension of risk is about the unstable political system, law and regulation, bureaucracy, corruption and ethics, government intervention, and mismanagement of economy management. The political and legal system in a country will affect how the government protects its citizens. This protection can be in the form of applying tariff and non-tariff barriers, investment barriers, subsidies, and other support programs, policy and laws, and ethical concern. This is what triggers free trade that cannot be done fairly, so that there arises a debate regarding the outcome of globalization, which relates to job and wage and income inequality. The world needs economic freedom. Economic freedom is the absence of government coercion so that people can work, produce, consume, and invest however they want to. Economic freedom flourishes with appropriate of intervention. Too much regulation harms the economy. The GATT introduced the concept of most favored nation, according to which each member nation agreed to extend the tariff reduction covered in a trade agreement with one country to all other countries. A geographic area consists of two or more countries that agree to pursue economic integration by reducing tariff and other barriers to the cross-border flow of products, service, capital, and in more advanced case, labor led into economic bloc. There are five potential levels of regional integration: free trade area, custom union, common market, economic and monetary union, and political union. Countries that experience change in GDP from low to medium or high are called emerging market. Emerging market countries. These countries attractive as target market, manufacturing base, and sourcing destination. Key criteria to assess the attractiveness of emerging market are market size, market growth rate, market consumption capacity, economic freedom, and country risk. And the challenges to face are political instability, weak intellectual property protection, bureaucracy, red tape, and lack of transparency, poor physical infrastructure, partner availability and qualification, and resistance from family conglomerates. So we need to apply some strategies such as conduct research to understand target market and the indigenous challenges, acquire new capabilities that build competitive advantage, and leverage the same advantages in emerging market enjoyed by local firms. A nation has competitive advantage, and the source of prosperity are inherited prosperity and created prosperity. We can use Michael Porter's diamond model to define the source of national competitive advantages. MNC was the major player in international business, and the FDI is MNC's main strategy in international expansion. Why MNC prefer FDI? Because it provides the firm with control over resources and a degree of monopoly. Internationalization avoids the drawback of dealing with external partners, such as reduced quality control and the risk of losing proprietary assets to outsiders. Three conditions determine whether or not a company will enter a given foreign country via FDI are ownership-specific advantages, location-specific advantages, and internationalization advantages. Global firm has to manage its financial. There are 6 tasks to be managed, consists of capital structure, fund, working capital and cash flow, capital budget, currency risk, and the diversity of national accounting and tax practice. To anticipate currency or financial risk, a country has to manage factors that determine exchange rate and movement and how the mechanism of the factor affect exchange rates. International monetary system is about the institutional framework, rules, and procedures by which national currencies are exchanged for one another. Global financial system is about the collection of financial institutions that facilitate and regulate the flows of investment and capital funds worldwide. That include the national and international banking system, the international bond market, and national stock market. Global firm must have good corporate governance. It's about ethics, CSR, and sustainability. Talking about ethics, we talk about piracy and counterfeiting and intellectual property right. And when we are in this issue, sometimes we'll face some dilemma, such as related to intellectual property in medicine. In one side, we should appreciate the company's hard work in its research to find newest and best formula for mankind. But in the other side, people who are sick are in such a poor condition that they cannot afford too expensive medicine. And to overcome this, again, government intervention is needed, such as subsidies, so that all human beings who need it can benefit. That's all I can share. I believe that the main purpose of international business and globalization is to improve the welfare of mankind and also the environment in the world. Even though fair trade in globalization is still too good to be true, improvements in cooperation are continuously being made so that the expected benefit can be reached. Thank you for watching. I hope the information I have provided can be useful. See you next time.